The Deputy Commissioner of Police highlights what he believes is leading to increasing antisocial behaviour in Barbados. The attitudes of Barbadians toward the disabled are changing, and in sports, the Windies trounced by an innings in Bangladesh.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Sophia Alsop, Cambridge, with this Sunday, December 2nd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, a relaxed attitude toward crime and violence in communities across Barbados is contributing to higher levels of antisocial behaviour. That's the word from Deputy Commissioner of Police Erwin Boyce. He was speaking during a panel discussion on building resilient communities against crime, drugs and antisocial behaviour at the St. Clement's Anglican Church. He says the force remains concerned about the level of crime, and he believes that tolerance of antisocial behaviour is partly to blame.
There is a relationship between, let's say, violent crime, drugs and antisocial behaviour. And again, that relationship is underscored by the fact that we have become rather tolerant, we have become rather, we are actually looking for the creation of sensational activities in order to meet what we think of as our community objectives.
Well, the director of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, Cheryl Willoughby, says there has been a steady increase in homicide over the past decade in Barbados. She says the research shows that carrying guns has become fashionable for Barbadian young people.
What our statistics recently revealed was that a lot of young people are carrying weapons, not so much so to commit crime, but as a form of protection. And these are issues that we have to discuss. Why would a young person believe that they need to be armed with a weapon, such as a gun, in order to feel safe? Our research is also showing us that carrying guns in Barbados is now a fashionable thing for young people. And I believe that if you're in possession of a gun, chances are a situation arises, you're going to use it.
Well, Prime Minister Mia Motley is leading a delegation currently in Trinidad and Tobago for a critical CARICOM meeting this week. The Prime Minister and her team arrived in the Twin Island Republic this morning. They're there to attend the 18th special meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy. The meeting is scheduled to take place tomorrow and Tuesday. The agenda is expected to include a discussion on how to facilitate a more effective and meaningful CSME. Among the specific issues to be considered are the principle of mutual recognition of companies and the effective settlement of disputes, including those which relate to sanitary and phytosanitary matters. The expansion of the categories of the skilled CARICOM nationals is also expected to be an agenda item. In other news now, the attitudes toward the disabled are changing here in Barbados. At least that's the observation of the Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Cynthia Ford. She says the introduction of sign language to 18 primary schools across the island has helped to raise the level of awareness among children.
In our communities, we give persons who are deaf and dumb and so all kinds of nicknames. We are seeing that diminish. And I think that as we get further and better educated as to how to treat with persons of that nature, it will finally be demolished from our society and I believe from the world as well. And once we sensitize young children, they are the ones who will bring home the messages to the parents to say, don't say that about them. Don't do that, mommy, daddy. It is unreasonable, it's unfair, it is uncharacteristic of a human being doing it to another. So we're going to get there, but with time and with effort. And I pledge to all of you that we will do the best in our ministry to make sure that that comes to a head.
And Minister Ford was speaking during a service at the St. Barnabas Anglican Church this morning to mark the 21st anniversary of the National Disabilities Unit. She commended the staff of the unit for the work they've been doing over the past 2 decades. Minister Ford also called on employers to give the disabled a chance to find employment.
Once they're given the training and the opportunity, I am proud to say I've seen it in a couple of businesses, and I'm happy to know that those business personnel have sought to engage and embrace individuals and groups who live with disabilities.
We move to health news now, and we hear that cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in Barbados. That's according to interventional cardiologist at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. Dawn Scantlebury. She says that death by heart disease far outstrips death by all cancers combined.
Some of that 37% mortality has to do with patients dying at home or dying before they actually get to healthcare. But even when patients recognize symptoms, present to healthcare, or mortality is still significantly higher. So I think we can be doing a lot better at getting patients treated. A lot of it has to do with the fact that patients present too late. So patients stay at home and drink ginger tea as opposed to coming to the doctor. And I can't tell you how common that is. So there needs to be a multidisciplinary approach to the management of heart disease in Barbados.
Well, in that clip, you heard that the interventional cardiologist said that the mortality rate from heart attacks is about 37% in Barbados, which is far too high. She was speaking to CBC News just before the start of a seminar on common cardiovascular complaints at the 3Ws Oval. The event was organized by Hibiscus Health. We go back to the first clip now, where she's indicated that the deaths by heart disease far outstrips death by all cancers in Barbados combined.
In fact, if you looked at the most recent WHO data, when you combine all cancers, they're about equivalent to just stroke. And then you add in all the other heart diseases, all things like heart attacks, heart failure, that kind of thing. You end up getting almost double the mortality from cardiovascular disease as compared to cancers. Thing is, people focus on cancers a lot. People think about cancer, they talk about cancer, they walk for cancer, they run for cancer. And I'm not saying that, I'm not decrying or distracting from the important message that, the Breast Cancer Society, etc., has to put out there, but I think people need to be more aware of their heart health.
Well, the theme chosen for this year's World AIDS Day celebration is critical. That's according to Cecilia Murray, the behavioral change specialist at the National HIV/AIDS Commission. She spoke to the media yesterday on the sidelines of an Independence Entrepreneur Extravaganza hosted by the St. Michael Center for Faith and Action.
It is good when persons can understand what's happening within their lives, within their bodies, so that they can make better informed decisions, so that we can actually help to make a better and a healthier society, because it touches every part of our lives. Because we've been working with the religious entities, we've been working with the Anglican churches a lot, we've been working with the schools, we've been working with the polyclinics, we've been working with all aspects of society, because we want to make sure that it's a holistic approach with respect to targeting, with respect to the persons that are affected. Because we also look at the affected, but they're also the infected, that we also pay a lot of attention, but the affected as well, which would be the person in the household, the families, persons who are unemployed. It creates a burden if you are unhealthy. So we want to make sure, once you know your status, we can work with you to make sure that all aspects of your lives can be properly managed.
Good news now, and the price of gasoline, diesel and kerosene will be reduced as of midnight tonight. The retail price of gasoline will be adjusted from Barbados $3.91 per litre to $3.71 per litre. That's a reduction of 20 cents. The price of diesel has decreased by 3 cents per litre, moving from $3.20 per litre to $3.17. Kerosene will retail at $1.44 per litre, down from $1.54 per litre, a reduction of 10 cents. Similarly, there will be a decrease in the price of liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG. The 100-pound cylinder will now retail for $163.07, down from $168.42. That's a reduction of $5.35. The price of the 25-pound cylinder will now be $45.87, a decrease of $1.33. The cost of the 22-pound cylinder will drop from $41.71 to $40.53, a reduction of $1.18. The 20-pound LPG cylinder will retail as of tomorrow from $36.84, down from $37.91. That's a decrease of $1.07. In other news, amidst the independence celebrations, one local non-governmental organization was busy trying to ensure that the island had an environmentally sustainable theme for its future. The Future Centre Trust, in association with the Barbados National Trust, hosted the inaugural Barbados Heritage Fair on the grounds of the historic Tiralcott Heritage Village. Chairman of the Future Centre Trust, Vivian Ann Gittins, said the fair was a melting pot of culture, heritage and awareness of the environment. Another partner in the Barbados Heritage Fair was 10 Habitat, a non-profit with an entrepreneurial focus, and a number of small businesses were also among the exhibitors. Ms. Gittins says although they started small this year, the Future Centre Trust plans to make the fair a regular event.
It's called the inaugural Barbados Heritage Fair because we intend to have this fair as a regular part of our agenda for Future Centre Trust and the Barbados National Trust in terms of building Barbadian awareness and understanding and knowledge about our heritage, being able to remember it and remember the things we used to do, which were all very sustainable, and also to look at how we could create a world that is better for all of us to live in, here in Barbados and around the world.
Well, the Heart and Stroke Foundation continues to promote healthy lifestyles and activity across schools in Barbados. The foundation made a donation of weights to the gym at the Christchurch Foundation School, and Director Professor Anne St. John says they're doing this in an effort to reduce the prevalence of non-communicable diseases, specifically childhood obesity.
In Barbados, investigations have shown that we have a 1 in 3 incidence of these conditions. So the Foundation School has kindly accepted for us to come in today to perform some education, to try to motivate the children on healthy eating, wise choices and healthy lifestyles. And we're making this presentation in the effort that some of them will be very motivated to have healthier lifestyles and reduce the prevalence of non-communicable diseases in the decades to come after leaving school.
And the principal, Robert Cumberbatch, says that the foundation is happy to be involved in the project as, in addition to academic excellence, Foundation School also wants to have a healthy cadre of students.
I think that the program is the program that we badly need today. As you know, obesity, especially among our school children, it's something that we're very concerned about going forward, and I'm glad that they have chosen us to partner with today to roll up this program to assist students across Barbados, but here at Foundation School, of which I'm the proud principal.